Today, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis signed a bill into law which keeps public school teachers from mentioning anything LGBTQ plus or trans related to students between kindergarten and third grade. The bill's detractors refer to it as the, quote, "don't say gay" bill. But I want to talk about why Disney or any other company has to take a public position on a law like this. What has changed that makes it so that a company which wasn't connected to the legislation must take a public position on it? Disney CEO Robert Chapek has become a punching bag from both the left and right for his reaction to it, first for not condemning it and being attacked by the left and many Disney employees, then speaking out and being attacked by the right for doing so. It was a lose-lose situation for the CEO and the company. Now, I'll say up front that I have a freelance contracting deal with Disney through ABC News, but I'm betting my position on this has more of a chance to get me in trouble there than to be appreciated in any way. Today, Governor DeSantis signed House Bill 1557 into law, surrounded by children at an elementary school in Spring Hill, Florida. The legislation, called the Parentalrights in Education bill, has drawn sharp criticism from many, including in the entertainment industry. At the bill's signing ceremony, Governor DeSantis seemed to welcome the controversy.
In Florida, we not only know that parents have a right to be involved, we insist that parents have a right to be involved. I don't care what corporate media outlets say. I don't care what Hollywood says. I don't care what big corporations say. Here I stand. I'm not backing down.
Disney had released this statement, quote, "Florida's HB 5057, also known as the Don't Say Gay bill, should never have been passed, should never have been signed into law. Our goal as a company is for this law to be repealed by the legislature or struck down in the courts, and we remain committed to supporting the national and state organizations working to achieve that. We're dedicated to standing up for the rights and safety of the LGBTQ plus members of the Disney family, as well as the LGBTQ plus community in Florida and across the country." But originally, Chapek didn't comment on the legislation, and many, including many of his own employees, came after him for it. Some big protests from employees, not just in Florida, but also at the company's headquarters in Burbank, California. Staff at Disney-owned Pixar animation studios releasing a statement saying they were disappointed, hurt, afraid, and angry. Chapek caved, saying this on a shareholder call.
I called Governor DeSantis this morning to express our disappointment and concern that if legislation becomes law, it could be used to unfairly target gay, lesbian, non-binary, and transgender kids and families.
Now, Chapek would also release a lengthy statement apologizing for not speaking out sooner. Disney also says it's reassessing its approach to advocacy and political giving, not just in Florida, but around the country. So, as always, let me try and be transparent with you about my views. I think it's a dumb law that's fixing a problem that doesn't exist, and it's just an effort to score political points with a particular base. But at the same time, I disagree with those on the left demanding that Disney take a public position against it. It's a slippery slope. Does Disney, or any other large corporation for that matter, now have to speak out regarding all controversial issues from, gun control, abortion, capital punishment in every state they do major business in? Bottom line here is that the only impact Disney's comments will have on the law is to make Governor DeSantis more of a hero for fighting a big, quote, woke company. And all it will do is lead many on the right, maybe, to not want to come to Disney. I guess that could mean fewer jobs for the same people protesting. But joining me now to discuss is Nadine Smith, Executive Director of Equality Florida, which advocates for the LGBTQ community and supported the protests from Disney employees. Thank you very much for taking the time. I appreciate it. So what do you think I'm getting wrong here?
Oh, well, a couple of quick things I would just say. The bill doesn't just impact K through 3. I agree with you. It's a bad law that is invented just to pander to the base that DeSantis is cultivating for his eventual presidential run. But it actually covers K through 12, using language about age appropriate and developmentally appropriate. And it's really being driven by people who are not only banning any conversation about sexual orientation or gender identity, but also seeking to ban books. In one county, they sought to ban 156 books. Most of them had LGBT content or by Black authors, including one about 2 male penguins raising a chick together based on a true story from a New York zoo. So he's really handing over the keys to Florida's educational system to the most extreme elements, and it's not a coincidence that he chose a charter school that is exempt from the bill that he was pursuing.
But if I could ask you to come back to the issue that I guess I'm raising specifically, which is forcing a company like Disney to come out and make a statement about it. It just seems to me that this is a very dangerous road to go down when we start demanding, no matter what side of whatever issue you're on, that major corporations come out and make statements on the most controversial issues of the day. As I mentioned, capital punishment, gun control, you name it. I mean, it does seem that we're heading down a dangerous slope, no?
No, I don't think so. And in fact, if you think about it, corporations come out on sides of legislation all the time. You talked about gun control. Parks don't want people carrying guns into their theme parks. They've spoken on that issue before. But what we're dealing with here is an issue that affects the daily lives. Disney is bringing employees, moving them to Florida. They want to make sure that those employees are bringing their families, their children to a place that isn't going to demonize their kids and make, introduce them to classrooms that are more hostile. But if you look at HB 2 in North Carolina, it was huge pressure from corporations that said, this is untenable for us. You put us at a competitive disadvantage, and we're going to have to move elsewhere if you don't repeal this law. So they look out for their. But do you actually?
But that's a good point. So let me ask you about that. Do you actually think, though, that this is going to have a practical impact? Because I don't see any way this has a. I mean, Disney's not going to move out of Florida over this. I don't see how it has a practical impact on the law, because if it could, then I could see, saying, all right, you know what? Our advocacy is going to do X, Y, and Z, et cetera. I just don't see how possibly the advocacy on the part of Disney is going to have any impact. But tell me if you think I'm wrong.
Oh, I think that the advocacy by Disney and other major corporations has had a huge impact. In fact, Equality Florida has been around for 25 years, and for 24 of those years, no anti-LGBT legislation passed in Florida. And it was due in no small part because major employers said you were going to hurt our economic competitiveness. They would do it out of the, because it was.
But now you got this one.
The right thing to do, but economically the smart thing to do. So yes, DeSantis doesn't care about what anybody says right now because he's playing to, presidential primary audiences outside of Florida. But there are other lawmakers in this process. So we're going to work to repeal this law. The majority of Floridians oppose this law, and we are going to challenge it in court. And in the meantime, not only do we think Disney should be speaking up on behalf of the quality of life of their employees in order to bring talent and keep talent, but we hope other companies will stand up too and say, listen, this is not conducive to the kind of environment that is going to draw the best and brightest and keep that talent. And I'll just end with this, Dan. Companies have played a role in every single major social justice movement, from desegregation, ending Jim Crow, ending the bus boycott, ending apartheid in South Africa. The voices of business have been part of all of those conversations, and now is no different.
Yeah, and I guess the only thing I would say, and I think those are fair arguments, and you did so very eloquently, but I think that in the end, on this one in particular, that it's not going to have any impact. But we shall see. As you say, you say that you're going to continue to try and get your legislators there. I don't think it's going to change anything, but we'll follow it. Nadine, thanks for taking it.
Absolutely. First, we're going to go to court, and
all right. Yeah. I know you're going to go to court on it.
States reject this legislation because they've seen what's happened in Florida, places like Maryland, North Carolina, Georgia. I think they're going to say no to this legislation because of how strongly the opposition has been in Florida.
I'm not so sure. We shall see, though. Nadine Smith, thank you so much for coming on the program. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching. Click the red subscribe button below so you can get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.